Glamy's got a brand new phone with a crack. Ask Cd-Rom. Hey dude, can you fix that? He doesn't know a RAM from a floppy disk. CD yells, please just read the dang instructions. Risk, they're best friends in a crash and burn way. Glammy clueless, driving CD insane. A comic duo, yeah, the fight is real. But they're ride or die, that's the deal. Glammy plugs their toaster into the LAN. CD screams, it doesn't work like that, man. Kill the Wi-Fi, my printer's on life support. Glammy shrugs and retorts, you're my tech resort. They're best friends in a crash and burn way. Glammy clueless, driving CD insane. A comic duo, yeah, the fight is real. But they're ride or die, that's the deal. CD's got patience running razor thin. Glammy's here asking, dude, where do I begin? Eject the disc, he says, hit control and save. Glammy's like, how do you live in this tech cave? Controller tangled, Xbox crash on the screen. Glammy calls CD, says, you're my tech machine. CD sighs, you're a one-man error log. Without you, buddy, I'd still use dial-up fog.
Welcome to Low Cow Tech Talk. I'm your host, Glammy Lammy. This is the Glammy Show. We're at 2 o'clock. We're going. Cd-Rom has an IRL job, so it is just me, your host, Glammy Lammy. We also have a special guest for you today, which is also going to be Betty Boop. I am in my intro nightmare. What in the heck?
I was told to come in and help you with your camera.
Oh, yes. We're just going to ride or die with it right now because I am live and on the air. Yeah,
Okay,
let's
no worries.
go.
I've had, sorry.
That's okay. So, we're going to bring in the one, the only, the illustrious Becky Boop. How you doing, girl?
I'm coming in and help you with your camera.
Hello.
Hey, we have got an interesting tech support situation going on because my camera decided to fuck up because this is Tech Talk, and I don't know anything about tech.
Cool. Look at your background. I'm in your background. Do you see this?
Yeah, it's super ethereal. But they can see me on the show, so that works, and we're like right here together. So this is how it's gonna be today.
Awesome.
Because I was fucking with shit, and I was trying to make like a super duper really cool background style for when CD goes on his certain date that I have prepared, which also I am so glad that you are here today, because one of the things that we are going to be talking about today is going to be like the difference between dating from back then to dating now, where I know we have all the different findangly things like apps and things, and we have all those different things. Can you see it? Can you hear everybody? Chat? I want to make sure that everything is good to go. Yeah, we are super ethereal today. We're going to be on the side, but we're also going to be here because we are Tech Talk, and this is, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but we're going to put on a show anyway. Let's go! Glam is on forever! And I even put a shirt on because I wanted to match your energy, so I figured I'd find a little Becky Boop shirt type deal.
A Becky Boop shirt.
What?
What makes that shirt a Becky Boop shirt? Why is that a Becky Boop shirt?
Well, because it looks normal. Usually I don't wear normal shit.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Got it.
I to use it's like, because yours is black, but it's got like the puffs, and mine has like the little buttons and it's a moment. It's cute. I don't know. It reminded me of you. Whatever.
Your camera is absolutely wilding out right now. Like, as you're just sitting there, it's like you're a ghost.
Yeah, so mine
in
is
and out.
ethereal in the corner, but I have me on the main screen, so they can actually see me pretty crispy clear.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. All right. It is pretty trippy. I just looked at it on the screen.
Yeah, so actually, I wonder if we did this. Can we do this? There we go.
Oh, now I'm like the center of attention.
Yeah,
huh?
there you go. We got both of us center of attention. See, so you are the perfect person to be asking about these questions, about the fact of like, how are you feeling about dating? Because that seems to be your number one. How is your Riz game today?
I mean, my risk game, it usually just involves showing up, so I don't have to do very much.
Oh,
but,
God, girl.
My dating is an absolute shit show. So, like, I'm an expert dater. I suck once I'm in a relationship. But before
I'm
I get
sure
to
you
know
do. I'm sure you do.
But I have to go. Because I don't stay in relationships very long, that means I go on a lot of dates. So I have mastered the art of dating. I feel pretty good with that.
I don't know. So maybe your sucking game isn't as good as you think it is if you can't stay in one.
Oh my God, Glammy, wow, right out of the gate. Jesus Christ.
This is the day for it, okay? Because we're talking about dating, so I figured we'd just let it all hang out, as it were, just like your tits.
Save that for special occasions. That's for rewards. Good God.
We're gonna bring the trash talk because we're gonna do more talk than tech today. So and we both got loose lips. Only mine is in my face.
Sassy ass Glammy over here. I think I'm still fucking high. I took a gummy this morning and I wasn't planning on being on camera till 8, and my sleep schedule's all fucked up from the
Mine
weekend
too.
stream I did. So Keem called me around like 12 or whatever, asking if I could do this. And he has a knack for catching me when I'm high, which is when I'm very agreeable. So he's like, could you do this with Glammy? And I'm like, oh, Glammy, yes, of course.
Oh, see, well,
And so I
that's good that
ran
you're
on.
high, so you can handle me better. So you probably have more patience with me with your high.
So if I seem extra slow and stupid, it's because I'm half awake, I'm half high, I'm only half here.
That's
So
okay. I act like I'm high even though I'm normal. So I'm not even high and I act like I'm high. So we're good. We're good. You can match my energy today.
of you actually, because the first thing I did was I ran and grabbed my energy drink, and I know you. Yep.
Yep.
See?
I got
Knew
mine.
it.
Yep. Is
Monster
yours a
slow
peach?
move.
Yours is peach, right?
Yeah, this is my peach.
I like the peach one. Have you had the strawberry one? Because those are good too.
The pink ones are my favorite, but the peach is good if
really
Huge
good.
Ass happens to step by, since he's got that huge ass peach sort of icon.
Oh,
Does he ever
there you
watch the
go.
show? Huge Ass.
He has watched the show before. I think he doesn't like me very much, but I don't know if he's turned a corner and kind of does now. I don't know. His cheeks are on both sides of the fence, as it were.
Wow. So like if there's a fence, he's straddling it, one cheek over here, just like one over here.
Exactly. We're hung on both sides.
Oh, one testicle on this side. Okay, all right. Well, Jesus Christ. I wonder what you're like on a date. Thank God you're married. I could just imagine you on a date.
Girl, I can't deal with dating. I don't have the patience for that shit. I've been with Mr. Glammy for like 10 years, so I'm settled in. I don't think I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. I don't have patience to like learn somebody new. Do you know what I mean? Because all that like anxiety of like trying to like not show who you truly are quite yet because you don't want them to see your whole crazy come out, and you have to kind of like cap it and kind of chill a little bit until they get to know you, and then all of a sudden you could be like, yeah, I'm wild and crazy and you got to take me down off of shit, and I climb on shit, and I
This is hilarious to know how much Glammy has to hide when she's on a first date. I don't do any of that shit. I like pick an outfit that I feel like I look skinny in. I show up and I'm like, hey, and that's it. And I just let all my crazy hang out.
You let your crazy hang out, girl. You got so much crazy. No wonder you stay single. Try hiding it first.
Well, I think that's the problem. Like when When I was younger, that worked a little better. And now that I'm almost 40, if I let all my crazy hang out, it's a little too much for most people. So I do have to dial it back.
Yeah, see, that's
I
what
feel
I'm
like
saying. Yeah, you gotta have some sort of like decorum, so you can't like, you have to sit with it. You gotta be like, hey, how are you doing? Yeah, I'm good. You hold that conversation, whatever, and you sound normal. And then all of a sudden, after a couple of months go by, when they're locked in a little bit more and they know that you're sweet, whatever, then you'd be like, yeah, let's go. Let's go jump off of let's go do casino. Let's go to a strip club. Let's go swimming. Let's go. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
you a few months to let it all out because I definitely show it way sooner. But I'm the kind of person who, by the time 3 months has passed, like I want to know if we're going to be in a relationship or not. I've heard the norm is people wait like 6 months. For me, it's like
Yeah.
3 months.
Why
So to
3?
hear, because I just move faster, I think, than most people a bit. Like I don't want it a lot earlier than 3, but I know pretty early on if I like somebody. So I kind of want to lock it down.
Oof.
But apparently you would just be starting to let your crazy show at that point. So like if I was dating you, I would
well,
be fucked.
it depends. Oh, I can't date girls not because I'm not interested. It's not or like that kind of thing. It's more of like I have to be the girl. I have to be the emotional. I have to be the one that cries. I have to be the one center of attention. I have to be, it's very that. Chromagatto, too, for y'all realize huge ass, not a dude, right? Oh, no, I did not know that. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought they were.
Dude, no way, Chromagatto. You're fucking with us. You're fucking with us.
I thought
right?
they were a dude. I mean, it's plausible.
It
Now
is.
I
but
forgot where I
think
was. What were we
I
talking
know. You just knocked us
about?
off.
I know. Wait a
We
second.
were talking about the 3 months and locking things down. And somebody said, somebody in the chat said, well, I like to move fast because I'm a gold digger. No, first of all, not a gold digger. But second, when I'm dating for marriage, like I'm not sleeping with that guy before marriage. So it ends up being the guy who wants to move faster. That's how it all works.
So speaking of which, would you be privy, which is the swanky word, privy, to being in a relationship with a guy who would not have sex before marriage? Would you be willing to be in a situation that would wait?
I would. Yeah. I don't
Really?
think it's the big. Yeah. Like I think when I was younger, that mattered a bit more. And it's not like I'm super old. I'm 39. But because I'm looking for somebody to be with for life, I don't know, sex drives ebb and flow. And it's just part
True.
of a relationship. So I feel like whatever they'd have, as long as we love each other, you work through it sexually and you grow together.
But would it drive you nuts not to try the product before you brought it home?
No, but it would drive, because I know I could shape it into what I want it to be. But what would drive me
Could
nuts?
you though? Because how do you know you could? Like, how do you know?
Positive reinforcement. They do things you like, you make the right sounds, and eventually you
like,
guide them.
Okay, but like, what if this particular person can't seem to what if they just can't seem to get it? Do you know what I mean? Like, no matter how many times, like, what if they just happen to be that type of person? Because everybody's different, right? So, like, I would
Yeah.
be super duper nervous that if I didn't try them out first. Again, this is back when I was single. I am married and I'm very happy and I'm not trying nothing now. But I'm just saying, like, I think it would drive me crazy if I couldn't figure it out first and try before I even decided to get linked. Because you don't know if you can teach that person.
My biggest fear with waiting would be that you don't know if they have erectile dysfunction or not. Well, you'll find out until after.
Okay, but like it depends, right? Because if you end up like, there's always a way to tell if they have erectile dysfunction. I mean, if you're snuggling and you don't have a pop in the tent, you know there's issues.
But sometimes then they get the performance pressure after, and then that's what makes. I don't know. I have been bamboozled that way before.
You've been bamboozled? I've never had that problem.
I have. Okay, so the last person where I thought like things were going to lead to marriage, but then we fooled around before marriage, totally had ED, in my opinion. And I didn't fucking know because sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. But when it was actually time to do the damn thing, there were issues.
Oh my God.
That was the first for me too. I've never experienced that. And then what's complicated is like, okay, well, you take a little blue pill or something to fix that. But if they don't want to take the blue pill,
Right.
then what?
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, though. If you're trying to teach them or guide them how to do it the way that you like it, what if they're stubborn and they just don't want to do it that way? What if they're comfortable in doing it one certain way? What if they're unwilling to change or be trained or whatever in the ways of what you want? Do you see what I'm saying? There's just so many benefits to like doing it first before you're married so that you know what you're getting into. It's the same thing with like living with somebody before you get married, right?
I don't want to do that either.
You don't want to live with somebody before you get
No.
married? You just want to jump in and live?
I feel like both those ways you fall into what I would call the girlfriend trap, which is actually kind of where you were before you got married. You were stuck as like a girlfriend for 10 years. I don't want to be, well, I don't know your story.
It's
I'm
not
sorry.
so much stuck. As it was, we were waiting for me to grow.
Okay.
I was a mess.
You were in fucking marriage purgatory, Glammy, just like you're in Lolcow purgatory.
No, this before you, this crazy messed up messolation, this is better than
Oh my God. No, what I would do, I give them positive reinforcement. And then if for some reason they don't get it, okay, I feel like guys usually have an ego when it comes to sex. And they like to believe like there's the bee's knees and they're the best of the best, right? So if you can make them feel like that, they tend to get better. And if for some reason they're not responding to that, well, then all of a sudden I'm just not in the mood. So
you need them to have an ego?
I would prefer if they didn't, but I find most guys do. Even I've killed my ego in most areas of my life. I know it doesn't seem like it from on here, but I have.
True.
But even sexually, I have an ego, and that's the one area I don't want to get rid of it.
See, so that's what makes it seem like it is so important that you try before you get caught up into something.
I think it depends on what you're looking for, because I'm looking for a life partner, but yet like sex it's weird. It's like 0% of that equation for me.
Oof.
Like,
oh, girl.
I know. And it's weird.
Girl. I can't. If I'm not like, I'm sitting here thinking I've got to be 60, 70 and still want to do it like rabbits. That's a major important thing. Like, it's huge.
I think it's for me, I'm still stuck on the life partner bit. I can't even get past that part. Like at this part, I'm even up for a Golden Girls situation. This is why the sex doesn't matter. I'm like, I just want a fucking companion. Like, is there anybody in the world who can fucking deal with me? That's all I want. You don't even have to have sex with me. Just deal with me.
Oh my God. So you're like mentally already a cat lady.
Yeah, pretty much. That's why I'm so happy with my cat.
You mentally already gave up.
Well, I kind of did actually. When I first came into like Lolcow Live in this little universe, that was me giving it sort of my final go, my last hurrah. Oh, I see you got a member.
Thank you, Amax Smack. Oh, that's so sweet. Yes, we missed another one too. There was a donor over here as well.
$2.
I didn't want to cut you out. Thank you so much, Caleb. This is Becky to hit her weed pen. Also, CD and Becky. That's what I was getting at. I was kind of leaning towards that, but at the same time, I'm wondering, like, I don't know. Shell shock for the 6 months. Damn, my wife and I were 2 weeks. Oh shit. And
then Ty Green Goblin asked. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, shell shock again. Oh my God, you were totally Blanche and Rose from Golden Girls. Blanche and Rose.
Glammy is like Rose. I guess I am kind of like Blanche. That would be me. I would definitely have my whole book lined up of men that I could call. I used to have like not a real book like that, but I
like a black book.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, I used to definitely have one of those. I don't really maintain it anymore. I suppose I still do. I still know people I could hit up if I ever want to.
Do you ever try to call them and see if they come through, or are you worried they're not even going to show up anymore?
No. Most people, if I reach out, they'll respond. As long as we're in the same area. Yeah.
Huh.
I've had that. Oh, the reason I know is because I've had that happen accidentally. Like, I think there was one time.
Accidentally.
No, for real.
Did Zoe do it?
No, my car did it this time. Listen, I have issues with electronics and things, including with my cat. She'll fuck with my electronics. But like in the car, there was this one time Mike was texting me, like my boss Mike, for a show. And then I said to
I've heard of the man.
Yeah, and to Siri, I took a minute to think about it after my car with Apple CarPlay read it out loud, and then I was like, reply to Mike, blah 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 blah, and it sent the message, and it sent it to a different Mike in my phone book, and then they contact me back, and they're like, who dis? And then sometimes you get into those conversations, and if they were someone from the area, a lot of times they'll try to like hit on, like make a move, you know?
God, that sounds like Uber Eats, but with men. Do you know what I mean?
Sort of. And the only reason I lost like most of my book is because I moved overseas. So like my most up-to-date black book is Korean.
Oh God. Oh jeez. You're gonna have to order out for that one.
Oh my God. I'm gonna order Korean food tonight. That's terrible, Glammy.
I'm sorry. Was that fast?
Oh my God.
Sorry. It's the first thing that came to my mind. Okay.
Like ordering Chinese for geez.
But I just,
Glammy.
I'm sorry. That wasn't meant to be offensive. I'm sorry. I'm on my third monster at the moment. It is early.
I think I might need to do shows with you more often. This is actually kind of fun. You're fucking ridiculous.
Well, once we started the Glammy show, I started to be able to come out more me. See?
So like way back in the beginning, me and Glammy were not very close. Like I picked on Glam. I think I might have I don't know if I started the hate train for you, but I was one of the first ones.
You did,
but
because you were intimidated by me coming in thinking that I was going to be better than you. Boy, were you wrong.
Yes. All right. But at Fat Camp, me and Glammy got like this. She helped me. She helped take me out for the wig right away after I shaved my hair. So now me and Glammy are like BFFs.
Yeah, thank God we didn't die going to that place. The wig place. Like,
oh my God, the wig place we went to. Glammy was so okay. So listen, do you remember? Oh, well, for anyone who watches Queen, no, I'm just gonna leave that now. Never mind.
For anybody who watches the show Queens, if you've heard of it.
Well, so what we went to like this, we went to Sally's to try to get hair there. We didn't have any, so they recommended this little place nearby. I don't want to give out their names so that they don't get like reviews and shit. But like this little place nearby, and I asked Glammy and her husband if they would take us there, and they said yes. And we show up, and it's like this little detached trailer, and like this super ghetto area
near the woods.
She literally made her husband stay in the car with the car running in case we needed to make a fast escape. It was so funny.
It was in the woods. I swear to God, like that's how horror movies start. And we went in, and it's this dude who was sitting there watching TV and just said hi, but he just kept sitting there watching TV. And there's like one wig there. Only one. And the rest of it was like, thank God it
was really funny.
And it was just this one guy. And then this other girl walks in, like right before we're about to leave, this other girl walks in. And it looked like she was coming to stay. Like, it looked like she was like maybe a family member or something like that. Because there was an upstairs to it. Looked like there was like it was like a home or something. Shit, girl. I was so ready to just grab and go. We were going to like do barrel rolls out the door to make sure we made it. Like,
okay, I've got to say it because Paulie is a bad influence. And they said Yolanda's Curls as if that was the name of the place. Well, that's kind of what it was. So this is what I was, Paulie. It's just somebody in the chat.
Oh, yeah. You said it like you knew them.
Well, I recognize them from Queens.
Okay, got you.
But all right, now you're going to get me to go into it and say what I wasn't going to say. Listen, we went to the black area of town and Glammy was going to shit herself. That's what happened.
That is not what happened. That is not what happened. It was the middle of
absolutely what happened, Glammy. Stop it.
What happened? It was because it was in the middle of nowhere. There was like barely any houses. It was just this one little trailer there. And it just seriously looked like it was in the middle of the woods. It's how horror films happen. You bitch. You fucking bitch.
I was going to say, because on Queens, 1 week, Mike dressed up as Shannon, right, as a girl for his punishment.
Yes,
and he was complaining that he didn't get his wig in time from Amazon. And I was like, bitch, that is no excuse. Go find you the black area of town. They will have a wig shop, and that's where you go buy your wig. But it's true.
That is so
and sure enough, that's what happened with us. It was like, leave the car, hide your kids, hide your husband.
It was because it was in the middle of the woods.
Keem, what? I didn't say anything that
Yes,
bad.
you did. That was so bad, Becky. Paint me out like that. Oh my God.
You went to the urban area.
We went to it was a trailer bit and it was scary. It was like that's what horror movies are made of, okay?
Okay. All I know is somehow you guys are crushing it. Like, I thought this was going to be a disaster.
Me too.
Like, the whole Discord is ranting and raving.
Really?
Continue. What the fuck?
Yay! Woo! Thank you guys.
Oh my God, Glamazons. Oh, that is so cheesy. It hurts. Oh my God.
Oh, well, suck it up, baby, because it's awesome. I love it. It's such a okay. So there's this. Speaking of cheesy, we're talking like easy, cheesy, beautiful cover girl. It is so. Billy showed like he was talking about this movie yesterday. It was a new Romeo and Juliet movie that came on, but it's like set in a pop era, but yet still time periodal. So it's like it was super cool. I looked it up, and yes, ma'am. Oh my God, the songs were popping. There was so much color, the beautiful costumes. I was right in my element, and I want to see it so super bad.
What was it that you want to see? I already forgot what you were talking about since you first started.
It was like the Romeo and Juliet.
Is
But
there
it's
Romeo
a
and
new one.
Juliet?
There's like a 2025 new Romeo and Juliet, but it's set in like pop.
Okay.
It's like pop music, kind of musical type of deal, which I do love me a musical. I'm not going to lie, but it depends on how you do it. And I'm sitting here thinking, as soon as they said pop, I'm thinking, oh, where's freaking Lady Gaga in this? But it did it, and it wasn't, and it was awesome, and it looks really amazing. I was so obsessed. I want to see it so bad. You should look it up.
Cool. I will look it up. Wow, you're really into your movies and shit. I have
Sort
to
of.
also, like, in a minute or two, I'll go try to find my vape pen. I think I hid it, like, under my comforter when I threw it over my bed in time for this stream.
Why are
somebody
you
asked
throwing your shit?
to hide my mess before this. Oh, Zoe.
Oh, that's so cute. Do you know when you talk? So, okay, I've been noticing this a lot. When I was paying attention to your mannerisms and shit. So when you say things, you're like, shit. You have that tss at the end of it.
Shit?
No,
You said I shit?
No, when you say the word shit, you would pronunciate the tss at the end of it.
The T a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, I do that. I remember back
do.
when I used to edit videos on YouTube instead of being live all the time, I would tend to cut out the pauses between sentences on one of my channels, and I would always cut off that t at the end.
Really? You'd cut it off?
I noticed I would because instead of it being like t, I would cut it so it's just like t, so it wasn't so long, because I noticed I do the same thing.
Yeah, I've noticed it for a while now. So when you say like shit, or like you'll say, Tina, do shit, and you'll put that tss on it. I've noticed it. I don't know. Paid attention.
I gotta emphasize it.
Mhm.
And then Lily's coming
Lily
in.
Messiah for the 20s. Zoe is a queen. Thank you so much. Yes, she is. She's very pretty. Where did you get her? Did you like
in Korea, actually?
Oh, you
When I
did?
was in Korea, yeah, I adopted her. She was a rescue. Well, not
that's
technical adoption, but
you
there was
stole her
another-
basically? You saw her on the street and you lifted her. You said, "Pussy's mine."
Could you imagine this princess on a street? I don't think so. She would never.
I mean, you never know. I mean, all animals of walk of life.
She wouldn't last on the street for long. She would find like kitty cat YouTube and become a streamer of her own. She's got skills. She'll never end up
Well,
on the
maybe
street.
not now because you domesticated her, but when you found her, I mean, you probably put her in your pocket. Talk about the real pocket pussy, right?
Oh my God, Grammy. Oh my God. No, you did not just call my goddess queen cat.
Well, because you
a
had to pick her up
pocket
off the
pussy.
street and put her in your pocket, right, to take her home.
She was from, there was a fellow English teacher I knew out in Korea, and his wife was allergic after they had her for a while. So they were trying to find another home for her. And so I found her through Craigslist, actually, and that's how I ended up with her. And
That's
they told me
awesome.
that she was really good with other cats. She's not. That was a lie. But I got her in
So
Korea.
she's a pussy with claws.
Yes. Oh my God. She's like what I was talking to Tina about the other day. Wow, it all comes full circle. All right. I heard of this weirdest shit. 10 years ago, I think is the first time I heard of this. It's like a pussy protector. That's not its real name, but now it's like a thing. Okay. Oh God, this is so. It's like an anti-grape device that it's like it's as if you put it in there. So if a guy ever tries to, he's gonna fucking get it. So that's what Zoe would be.
They've got like the barbed wires inside, right? And
Yeah,
it like hooks and holds.
Yes. I did not expect that to come up at 2 p.m., but here we are. Jesus.
That's awesome. That's fucking awesome. So, speaking of that, bringing back to the dating, because it goes.
And wait, for the person who wanted me to take a hit off my vape pen, would a shot do the trick instead? Because I happen to have this right here. So, and it's not very strong.
You yeeted and can't find it? Is that what's going on?
Well, I have to get up and look for it. So I could do that. I mean, if you guys want to wait, but I don't want to keep it.
Do you know the geographics of where it landed?
I believe it's right under my bed over there. I think if you give me 2 seconds, I could
go. I can quickly. We'll set it up. I'll talk to Chad. She's gonna find the geographics of her vape pen.
I have to mute myself so they don't hear me kicking all the cans on the floor and shit.
Good God, girl. We can do the play-by-play of the kicking of the cans. Oh, actually, I can do it. Here. Because I have cans too. I have like 3 cans so far, so this is my monster collection for today. That's already. I've just killed this one, and then I've got this extra one here. This is a full one. All right. Hurry up! I want to tell you what happened. I can't hear you now.
Sorry, what happened?
I helped you because I have the monsters. So
Oh my God. Stop. Well, listen, if you think you came prepared, look, I got 1, 2,
yep,
3, 4, bitch. Okay. Do not start a can competition with me. I will win.
Are you sure? Because I've got this one's dead. This one's dead. This one's dead. This one's just dead. And this is a full one.
See, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one who's got cans around. I just happened to kick mine by mistake.
You got 4 sets of cans. You got the bigger ones, and then you got the one to drink.
The bigger ones meaning these?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yes, you leaned so heavily on those. So speaking of those, did you see Rastov yesterday when he was talking to Keys?
That was my favorite thing.
Going like
It's funny because I was high as fuck in bed watching that, and I get a text saying that they're talking about me on Lolcow Live, so I go to watch, and it's right before they start doing the impression. I'm watching the whole impression. It's hilarious, but I love how much of Rastov's impression of me was just going like, eh. It was like this over and over. I'm like, wow, so that's how Rastov views me. He pays a lot of attention when I go like this. You can't hide it, Rastov. We all know now.
The Discord stopped motion. And when you did that, it was like...
I saw it go extra fast.
You had speedy cans.
Get a speeding ticket. Well, for the guys who like it fast and want it over fast, that one was for you.
There you go. There you go. Can't slow us down over here.
I found my babe. I took a little hit.
Sweet, we got it together. I got this one, but because of the green screen, it's all ethereal. I like how it's like blacked out like that. It's pretty cool.
You know what that looks like? It looks like one of those old ass phones from like 2007. You know the flip phones?
Hello? Yes?
It does. It looks like it.
It kind of does. It kind of does.
Like the antenna.
Oh, yeah. It kind of does. Although that's wicked small. So maybe it's Barbie's phone.
Well, one of the folding ones, you know?
The folding.
They used to.
Oh, yeah. Oh, maybe.
That's what it looks like. Well, don't actually try to flip it.
Well, no, I was thinking in my brain of how it felt.
It's not actually a phone, Glammy.
But like I had one when I was younger, and I'm thinking of how it felt, so I'm trying to like envision. And it is kind of like that.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's smaller, but on the camera it looks like that. Like that or like a really funky old remote.
It does look
All right, I'll
like
take
that.
one more.
Okay. Oh my god. Okay, so
Glammy,
sorry.
her manners.
Actually, that was on accident.
Who did this to you? When did you start burping on camera?
That was the first time I've ever done that, and that was by accident.
Next thing I know, you're gonna start farting and shitting on camera. I've
Oh
always
wait, we
known
draw
you don't
lines.
like
I tried
that.
my class. That was so on accident. I was drinking my Monster and it was all collected, and then I vaped at the same time, and everything decided to collectively come out together.
It's okay. I've got my throat farts going on from the cartoon. So it's actually kind of funny. You're burping. I've got throat farts. I've got cans. You've got cans.
There
I've
you
got
go.
pot. You've got pot. It seems like
It's
maybe this was serendipitous. Maybe we had more in common than we realized, Glammy.
Probably we do. We make a good team. Although your cans are bigger than my cans for now. For now.
Now,
For now.
if I ever get back to losing weight again, they'll disappear a bit eventually.
But then you could just put it back when you pay for them. It's good shit.
I've heard that nowadays they like some people do this. They have like fat transfers that you
Yeah.
can do now. So if that ever gets better, by the time I finish losing my weight, I've got plenty of booty to spare. So they could just take some from there and put it here.
Okay, so this is going to be a weird question, but I've always kind of wondered, do you think that for a woman that's bigger, do you think it would be part of the reason that it would be harder to take the weight off as far as wanting to because of the fact that your breast size shrinks?
Yeah, that is disappointing a lot of times. Like when you get to a certain point, like this just happened kind of recently where I took my measurements because I was going to get new clothes.
Oh.
And I realized I lost 4 inches off my bust and nothing off my waist. I was like, what the fuck, motherfucker? Like, can it not come off the stuff? Like, I was like, no, that's the opposite.
That's like the
of
worst part.
I know. So yeah, it does kind of get in the way and it could be disappointing. But luckily, like they always stay kind of proportionate for me. So it's all right. They're just smaller overall.
But is that in the back of your head as far as like what would stop you from having motivation?
It would never stop me from having motivation because I think you get way more out of being thinner than out of having big boobs. I think being
Okay.
thinner is a much bigger advantage overall.
Wow. I don't know.
So like health and everything aside, I always tend to think of like day-to-day life. I think it's easier to get what you want more as a thinner person. I think like that power, that privilege is better than having fat penalty but big titty privilege, you know?
I don't know. How do you figure though? I feel like it would be depending on who you're talking to, right? Because that's all perspective, right? And it changes. It's not going to be a same cookie cutter across the board. So like if there's somebody who's, let's say there's somebody in power who just happens to be more attracted to bigger women versus smaller women, would that not end up empowering you versus me? But if it was somebody who was in power that was attracted to smaller versus bigger, then that would put me in the running versus you. So
yeah, that's where I think it becomes a numbers game because if you look at individual to individual, yes. But I think overall, more people and more men prefer thin versus heavy. So if I'm just
I
looking at the
don't
bigger
know.
picture,
I don't think I agree with that because there's so many guys who there's such a high market for the bigger booty batty boobalicious babes. You know what I mean?
imagine, Glammy, like let's say right now, imagine yourself being 100 pounds heavier than you are.
I would cry.
Imagine that.
I can't.
now
For
you
me
have bigger
personally,
boobs.
I can't.
I know. Well, it's hard, right? So now imagine, like now you've got big boobs, but you're also a lot fatter. Do you think people would treat you better or worse?
Okay. I think they would treat me worse, but I'm thinking more of like the dating game, not overall. I'm thinking
Well, yeah.
because the conversation around dating, we're working around dating. So
If we're doing it for dating, it depends on what you're dating for. So, like, if you're dating just to have, Han Solo just came in with
thank
a
you
comment.
so
can
much,
correct me if
Han
I'm wrong.
Solo. Han Solo with the 5. Wish CD-Rom was here so we could get his opinion on low-cal TikTok at TikTok and
Oh my
big
God.
batty boobalicious babes. Yes. I think
Raw Pal Tit Talk. That should be a show for me. Or Becky's Becky's Big Baddie Boobalicious Babes show.
you had to read it to remember it.
Yeah. The
Imagine
Becky Big
having
Baddie- Go ahead.
Imagine having to intro that shit.
Welcome to the Becky Big Baddie Boobalicious Babes show. Meow, meow, meow. It didn't go off. I don't know if they could hear that. But
You got cut down in your prime.
you'll have to ask Cd-Rom what he thinks about it tomorrow when he's back. Okay,
I
so
do
for
want to ask
dating-
him that.
For dating, I think it depends on what your goal with dating is. So like in my 20s, I felt like it was really important to feel desirable and know I could have as many men as possible.
Oh God,
Not
not going for the Pokemon.
It wasn't even because this is just the way my brain works, right? It wasn't even because I wanted them all romantically. It's just that I know, like, being attractive is power, right? That gives you power in life. And
It's
so
not making
even though
you sound very good.
no, it doesn't. But it is the way I think, though. I think.
I mean,
like
at least
that.
you're honest. At least you're honest. You're being honest. That part's good.
So, I mean, I'm honest in other ways that are better too, but that's honestly me. Like, so I wanted the power of that attractiveness. So in that case, like, I think it's a lot better to be thinner. You'll reach more people if numbers are what you're after. Now, if you're dating and you're just trying to find like your life partner or something, being fat could almost be an advantage. And not even just because the guy might be attracted to somebody heavier, but it weeds out a lot of men who might be there for the wrong reasons. Like, I think that thinner girls have to deal with more bullshit of more men hitting on them that don't care about them, but just want them for their bodies or whatever. I think thinner women go through that more.
So do you think that you being bigger is giving you more of an advantage today for what you want? Because you had stated that you're looking for your forever.
For me, it would be more of an advantage if I was thinner because I would feel so much more confident and so much more powerful.
So then
Like,
you just contradicted your thing.
Well, no, but because, okay, fine. If I'm looking for a life partner, yes, being heavy is still better. But I guess
Okay.
that's because I'm answering for where I am right now, which is like, do I want a life partner? Yes, of course. However, I'm more in work mode than dating mode at the moment. So being
Okay.
in work mode for me puts me in more of a masculine energy. And so when it comes to thinking of dating now, I tend to think of more like short term or just for fun because I can't really balance
Okay.
like a solid real relationship with working. I really suck at doing that.
So then you changed the whole entire trajectory of what you're looking for then. You're no longer looking for a forever. You're looking for a right now.
Well, right now I'm technically not looking for anything. But if people come by, like normally I would shut them down immediately if they're not looking for a forever sort of thing. But for now I'm just like, whatever. And I'm just going with whatever the flow is.
Yeah. I don't
So
know.
like
I think
it would be, go ahead.
from what I gather from the way that you're talking, it sounds like you're feeling more empowered as where you were before, where you thought that you were looking for your forever, like the whole trad thing. I feel like you got over it.
It's a different kind of empowerment. So
Like
this
how
is actually
so?
that's actually a really good question because the whole trad wife thing, I feel like for me, and it was never that I was looking specifically to be a trad wife, but that was like the shortest way I could phrase what I was looking for. But I was looking for like a more masculine provider, protector, traditional type of man. And fuck, I just forgot what I was gonna say with it. That's 'cause I took the pause.
You should get a lion.
Wait, fuck! No, I was gonna say something so good. That was such a good fuck. You laughing at me doesn't help, motherfucker. God damn it! What the fuck was I gonna say? Oh.
Oh, okay.
It was empowering in a different way. So most of my life, I've lived in my more masculine energy, focusing on work and achievements and doing and producing and accomplishing. I consider that a more masculine energy. So falling back into a more feminine energy and wanting to be with a traditional man, that was actually very empowering for me in a different way.
Okay.
Because when it comes to dating guys like that, all of a sudden, it's okay if I cry or if I'm more emotional because they're used to women being more feminine. And it was like, oh, you mean I could cry and that's okay? It's not like when I'm at work and I can't cry. It was kind of eye-opening to me. Because when I work a job, I'm always in my masculine energy, and I was carrying that over into dating. Because I figured, like, okay, here's an example. When you're working a job, if you find a problem, let's say you find a problem and you want to tell your boss about it, right? It's always best to bring a solution with that problem so that it's like you're helping the boss instead of hurting. In dating, I'll just say this really quick. In dating, I find it's the opposite, at least with traditional guys. Bring up the problem, let them solve it. They feel good doing that. I don't have to come up with the solution. So it's like a different kind of energy.
Huh. That's a
So it was
very
very
interesting
empowering.
way to look at it.
That's how I looked at it. So it was a huge switch for me to realize, like, at work, I'm not going to cry when I try to talk to a boss. But with a husband or a boyfriend, it's like, oh, I can let that side out a little more. They're more understanding if I just am actually more my true self than the way I have to be at work. But
So would
yeah,
you so how willing are you to have the husband feel the same way as far as crying or all that stuff goes too? Like, how willing are you to let it be balanced? Or do you need that guy to be
cry?
do you need that guy to be like the Marlboro man, as it were? Or what if he was like more feminine?
I definitely want a guy to be able to feel things and feel safe expressing it with me, maybe, or in private, or to like a therapist or whatever, like that sort of thing. Like, I don't want a man that's repressing everything like how things used to be.
Mhm.
I want them to feel safe expressing that, but I do like a more masculine man. Like, I'm sorry, if I go to a movie and the guy I'm with starts crying in the movie, I'm probably not going to want a second date. I
You're
just,
gonna be like, get out, bitch!
I
Go!
fucking
Take
can't.
your
I
tissues!
can't. Here, listen, you all know how much I cry. If a man cries more than me, we're done. There's no more
Oh
dates.
God, can you imagine? Can you
You
imagine?
definitely better cry less than I do, and it better be infrequent because I cry enough for the both of us. So
True. That is facts. That is facts. Oh my God. So as you're going through like your Texas situation that you went through, and
yeah.
how are you more on that type of thing, or how is staying alone for you? Because I know that you've been very super not about that for a very long time.
I love being alone.
Do
I
you?
love
Because it doesn't seem that way.
you. Really?
Yeah, with how hyped your self is.
I just flirt. I can't help it. Sorry, I know I'm over the top.
You're
I'm
like,
just not.
I just flirt. I'm fine being alone. Anybody want some of this? Who wants it? It's on display.
But here's the thing with that flirting is I love that flirting. Oh, Jake Hudson and their viewers just joined. Well, somebody
Oh,
gave you
thank
a
you so
redirect.
much. Thank you, Jake Hudson. I'm not sure who that is, but that's very sweet.
So no, I love being alone. It's what I prefer. And the flirting that you guys see me do on here, that's because it's not serious flirting. When I'm actually interested in somebody, I tend to shut the fuck up and I get really embarrassed.
Oh, you're exactly the opposite?
I'm actually the opposite. The flirting is overcompensating.
No.
I swear to
Oh
God.
my God. Wow. I would not, with the amount of flirtatious flippings that you do, I would have thought that you were in heat 24 hours a day.
No. So in reality, I love being alone. It's my favorite state. In fact, like if I'm
What's your favorite
dating,
state? What state are you from? I'm from the state alone. I built a
of
condo
loneliness.
there.
to being alone. It is legitimately my favorite though. Like I love not having to respond to anybody, not having to run things by somebody else, having my weekends be mine. So if I want to sleep all day, I can. I love all that.
What about putting shit down and you know it's going to stay there when you put it down?
What do you mean?
Like, okay, if you go to put something down in your kitchen and you come back, you know it's going to be exactly in the same place you put it down. But if you have somebody in there with you that could be moved, it could be cleaned, or it could be changed, and you're like, where's my shit? And you know that you put it right there, and then all of a sudden it's no longer there. That drives me crazy.
That happens every time my mother comes over because she'll be like, this should be here, and this should be here, and this should be here. And she'll want to move everything all around.
Or it's like all of a sudden you go to the bathroom and you come down and you're in a totally different house. It's like, what the fuck?
Well, that sounds more like a glammy life to me. Like that
My
would be
guy
your
likes to
kind of
move
life.
the furniture because he likes to move the furniture because he likes things. He wants to constantly try. Well, not constantly, but he likes the different. Here, it's been like this for a little while. Let's shake it up a bit. Let's change things around. I'm very much where I want everything to be the same because if it's not the same,
Same.
change freaks me out. So I'll come down and it'll be like, oh, yay. You did such a
We
great
all have
job. But it's like, fuck.
We all have such different norms. Like apparently it's a norm for you. You wake up and you go downstairs or whatever and you're like, "Oh my God, it's like I woke up somewhere totally different." For me, my norm is like I might open my door to go outside and there's randomly flowers sitting out there. For Tina, her norm
Wait a minute.
is
Wait a minute.
Wait, one more. And for Tina, her norm is that she's going to go shit on somebody's porch. It's funny how we all have these different norms.
What? How did you get there? So you're saying my norm is stable and yours is you're walking outside and you have stalkers and you don't know where the flowers have come from.
Actually, when you put it that way, if you're normal compared to if I make you look normal, that's really fucking bad. Maybe I need to reevaluate it.
I think so. I really, truly do.
Usually if I get flowers like that, it's from somebody I've dated before. So it might be one of those guys who've kind of ended up in the black book or something. So like maybe they'll send flowers because like they're coming to town or they might want to start something up again, you know? So
Do they at least put their name on it? Or is it like
Yes.
the secret admirer?
No, they definitely put their name on it.
Oh,
but there
thank
will be
God for
times
that.
like I just go to like open my door to walk outside and I'm like, oh, there's a box there from like 1-800-Flowers. And I'll be like, oh, I live such a good life.
Come to find out she called the company herself.
Oh my God. And Tina refused to believe when I said that was normal for me. She refused to believe it. But then one day I did. Like I woke up to a really heavy knock on the door. I actually thought it was the police. Like I was getting swatted or something. And no, it turned out it was Flowers from Keem when he canceled Queen. So then Tina got to see, yes, it really is my normal. I really do.
One time isn't normal. One time does not make normal.
That I really do occasionally just run into flowers like that.
So
though,
now it's occasionally. Which one is it? Normal or occasionally?
well, it's not that often. I'd say like 2 to 3 times a year or something like that'll happen.
You're
I'm just like, oh,
sitting there in your bed while you're on Queens and you just order 1-800-Flowers. Tina, see, I told you it's normal.
no, in reality, what it is I'm laying in bed. Now I have no hair, so it's not like messed up hair, but it's like I'll be laying in bed. I wake up. I think a cop is at the door. I hide under my sheets.
Oh, no. How many times has it been the cops?
All right, these motherfuckers. It's after the episode I did on Queens when I first ate cat food, and some motherfucker in the audience called in a wellness check on me because I was eating cat food. You fat motherfuckers, or whoever it was. I know it's a fat incel in their mama's basement. Okay.
Oh my
They
God.
called that in. So it's like the morning after I barely sleep, I hear the knocks at the door and I didn't answer. And then I hear the really insistent knocks and I'm like, whatever. And I sit up in bed and I'm trying to listen. And then I see out my window, somebody's looking in and it's a fucking cop. And they're looking right at me because that window looks right to my bed where I was sitting. I was like, oh, fuck, he saw me. Like, when cops answer your door, are you required? When they knock at your door, are you required to answer? Do you not have to answer? I didn't know.
I heard you're not required to let them in. I believe you're required to answer, but you're not required to let them in. They have to have like a warrant or something. You don't have to just be like, here, yeah, come on in.
So after that happened, I've learned if I ever hear knocks like that, like when it was the knocks with the flowers, I hide under the sheets. I don't know.
If like the window's open, they can still see you. It's just, like we see you right there.
So as a kid, could you imagine? And I see it's a fucking cop looking at me, and I'm like, well, I just got caught in the worst lie ever. I was pretending I'm not home, sitting here like this. The one cop at the door, and the other one's at the window. And they're like, fuck. Now
You
they
can
already
see the
think I'm
big
a
lump on
liar.
the bed with the like blankets over it.
Yeah, so now I'm like extra suspicious, you know,
Yeah,
because they already have it in their mind that I'm a fucking liar because I was sitting there pretending I'm not home and they could see me sitting right there listening like this.
At that point, they're just gonna kick your door in. Be like, oh no, she died.
God. And then when they came in, it was like they came in to check on the cats and everything, and they were like, "So how are you doing? Are you okay? We've had some reports of you eating cat food." And I was just like, listen, I was just like, I was like, it's a job. I do it for the money. It was a prank. It's all. And they were like, well, how much do you make from that? And I said, well, we're on track to make this amount. And then the cops were like, oh, that's pretty good. I would do it. It's like, see? Not so fucking crazy, am I?
Could you imagine if the cop came to the door, right? Because the fact that
Yeah.
like he acted like he was gonna do like a wellness check, right? And just came to the
Yeah.
door and been like, "Oh, we're here for a wellness check. Are you Becky Boop?" And it'd be like, "Yeah." It'd be like, "Oh my god, I've heard of you. I just wanted to say hi."
No, they never know who I am, but like there's sometimes like there's embarrassing times. Like I was going to the pharmacy to get meds, and like I always have to take a lot of medication. So they know me well at the pharmacy. And like the one time I forgot how we got into the conversation. I think maybe I was in a rush because I had a show. And so I mentioned I did the show, and then they were like, oh, what show is it? I was like, fuck, I do not want to tell these people what I do. I do not. And this was back towards the beginning of Queens, where like I was having mental breakdowns every fucking
God.
show and everything. I was like, I do not want them to find this fucking show and see what I really do with myself.
Just be like you wouldn't have heard of it. It's just low budget thing.
Well, that
So
guy
they
at the
couldn't
pharmacy
find
that I
it.
told you to, he used to flirt with me and shit. Ever since I told him about the show, he doesn't flirt anymore.
Oh my god! You mean he's got higher standards than that? So he thought that you were below him now.
More like he remembers who I am and he's still nice, but there's not that little extra flirt, you know? I'm like,
God.
damn it,
That's
fucking
so
long
funny.
cow.
That's so
Keep
funny.
spoiling me again.
You would have had him too if it wasn't for that crazy Keem.
But Bolo, I'm a terrible liar. Haven't you learned this from Queens? Like Becky lies, Becky cries. Yeah, I lie, but I always get fucking caught. So I don't know why I
So
bother.
you lie, but you just suck at it.
I do. I suck at lying. I suck at lying. So I couldn't lie to that guy. I was like, I didn't know. It just came out.
Just be like,
And then
no,
do you
he's just somebody that looked like me.
But even having to say the name of the show.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, it's called Lol Cow Queens. Like,
I don't know. I'm pretty proud when I talk about it.
Lol Cow? Well, maybe
Yeah.
now because it's like a whole universe. Back then, it wasn't even a whole fucking universe.
Otherwise,
yet. It
I
was just
guess-
Lol Cow Live and Queens.
But your story's different than mine. Like, I was just like, yeah, I started at the bottom, and it was so hard, and then I had to claw my way, and now I ran OBS, and I made it! So I guess mine's more positive than yours.
Well, yeah, mine started, I was nice on the show and then like on Lol Cow Live, and then I got offered the role for Queens and obviously wanted it. And then I never like, I was apparently only meant to be temporary. I never really realized this. Like they were going to get rid of me. It's just I knew how to run OBS, but I think it was mostly going to be, you know, the first Voldemort we had and Tina, and then eventually it was going to get narrowed down. But for me, I started out up here, and then they acted like they were going to fire me, and I broke the fuck down and started crying and screaming and shit. And then all of a sudden, Keem was like, ah, she's a keeper. I had to let out my crazy. When I was being normal, Keem wasn't very fucking interested. As soon as I went crazy, he's like, ah, I can fix this one.
Well, I guess it's a good thing that I've never been normal. I was crazy from the start.
Bogart, I'm only on here for today. I'm just visiting.
Yeah,
Visiting
you're doing an amazing job. I like talking to you. It's super fun.
You are too. Well, for today, it's apparently dating talk and how much Becky has a fucked up life talk.
It is.
And how Glammy's life almost looks normal compared to mine kind of talk.
We're leaning more on the talk versus the tech today because we're a tech short.
I have to say, where'd they just go? Wicked Crafter in the chat tagged me in this and said, so Keem is cock blocking you, hun? LMFAO.
Oh,
Precisely. Let me go over how this man cock blocks me. Let me go over this. I went to Texas. All right. Why does Keem care that I saw another man in Texas? He says it's because of the lying. It was never his business where I went. I think he was hurt. This is how I first knew Keem had some tension for me. There was a thing because he made it personal that I went and saw another man who also, by the way, happens to be richer and more successful than Keem is.
okay. Well, how about the fact that you just did not show up for work? That couldn't have been the issue? No, it had to be that. Like, what?
Can't go into that part that much, but what I can say is that Keem, I swear he took it personally when I saw another man, especially a more successful one, because the punishments he gave me for that were personal. Like
Yeah, he
pushed
took
me
it personal
punishment.
because you did not show up for work. We personally didn't have you there.
He took it personal. He took it personal as if the way he took it personal was as if he took his dick out and I laughed at it. Like he was so offended that I went and saw another man. I'm telling you. Listen. I'm fucking telling you, that's when I first knew he had a thing. He punished me extra hard for that because I think I hurt his feelings.
I think it's just because you were an employee that weren't there.
I think that's what Keem says. I
No,
think that's
I
Keem's
think that's
story.
literally what happened. Like you were an
I think
employee that
I
had
think
like
that's Keem's cope. That's how Keem is coping. He says, oh, it's really because Becky just didn't show up, when in reality, it's because I didn't show up, ... because I was with another man.
I think that's your hope. Not
My
his,
hope is
That's your hope that he feels that way.
We're both full of hot air. He's filled with copium. I'm filled with hopium.
Exactly. You took it on something serious, girl.
But it's true. Okay, so that was Exhibit A. Here's Exhibit
Okay, I'm
B.
gonna need
and
more
C.
than that.
All right, so here's the next one. Exhibit
Okay.
B, Nick Stone. Nick Stone is a viewer of my show of
Sure.
Queens, who would always give hate donations. And when he stopped viewing Queens, he made an 8-minute video about it because he started watching Milkers instead. And he reached out to me with that video. I start playing the video, and then eventually Nick comes on the channel. But Keem actually called out Nick saying, this motherfucker has a crush on you. He insisted that Nick had a crush on me. And he ripped into Nick and embarrassed him in a funny way, obviously. Not only on Queens and on live. Once again, he cock-blocked me with another man.
Okay, but wasn't he just calling him out because Roxy stated what she stated? Was that
don't think
before or after?
It was around that. This was before like everything started falling apart with Milkers.
No, this was because she came and she started she was yelling at Keem about the fact that this guy was in I forget how it was. It was like she was upset. She sent a whole bunch of messages to him being all angry, and she's like, oh, well, if Becky can cry to you, I can cry to you. Which really, either way, didn't make her sound very good, because either it was just that she was like really super pissed for no reason, or she was just super duper jealous of you and wanted to act like you.
I'm not sure. I don't think
So,
I
and
know about all that.
I think that was pretty much based off of the Nick Stone thing. So I really don't think it had anything to do with you. I think he was just calling out the fact that this guy has a crush on you, where Roxy was taking it personal as because you were being a certain way, he jumped ship and went over to there.
Exhibit C, fine.
If I remember correctly. I mean, I'm just blowing all kinds of holes through your shit, girl.
Exhibit C.
Okay, give me another one.
C.
All right.
Was the last
Mercutio Alvarez Leon 2. Give CD-Rom a chance, Becky. He'll have you see God. Oh, because he's a religious man. That's why.
I think it's the opposite way around. I think I would blow his mind. Now,
Ooh.
if he has a
Girl.
huge wallet, he might blow my mind. But otherwise,
I mean, he does have a pretty good job.
What kind of job?
I think he's a tech.
Right?
I think he's a techie person. I believe
Maybe.
so. I think he does pretty good. I don't.
Nerdy virgin. I would go for it.
I mean, you know, he's not tainted. So it's like you can like do whatever.
Wow. I would. Oh my God. No, he would.
He wouldn't know anything to compare it to, so he wouldn't know how crazy you were. So you could pretty much get away with anything. You know, it'd be like you'd be his template for what it looks like.
It's exactly what I want. No, I would go. Saying he's tainted. Imagine if we said that about a woman. Well, she's a virgin, so she hasn't been tainted yet.
Well, no, I meant mentally. Like, he didn't go through all the scars and tribulations of things, so pretty much how you are would be his introduction to the Whammons.
Oh, God. Could you? Oh, God. Could you imagine that? If I'm somebody's in. Oh, my God.
Okay, so, which brings me to the first. what I think would not be a good idea is because of the fact that you literally have to teach him shit.
Like teaching. That's okay.
Really? Because I can't. I don't have the patience for that shit. Like, I sit there and be like, okay, this is how you love. This is how you. I can't. Like, girl.
I mean, maybe
I'm
this is just
44.
me.
I'm fucking tired. Like, I don't want to be teaching people shit. Like,
I would love to know if other women or men or people in general do this too, or if it's just me. But I feel like when it comes to getting off in the bedroom, I do all the work myself
I'm
anyway.
not even. Wow, that's not even what I was talking about. I meant like.
I was gonna tie it together. I was getting there.
Thank
I was
God!
getting there.
That was a jumping
Because, yeah.
point. Girl.
Well, you were saying about having to teach them, and what I was gonna say is, well, even if they suck, I just close my eyes and imagine something. That's what
you just close
do
your
other
eyes
people
and
not
you
do
gotta be
this?
somewhere else.
This is where I have to know. Am I weird for doing that?
A
Do other
little
people
bit.
not do that? 'Cause I sure as fuck do
I
that.
think that's weird. I think you're basically saying that you're not interested in the relationship if you're like having to think of a safety place.
Oh, well, I'm not thinking of a safety place.
I'm in a
No, it's the
field. I
opposite.
love my
I'm thinking
relationship.
of-
I love my relationship.
No, I'm thinking the opposite. I'm trying to go to a more unsafe, dirtier place in my head. Not as it's the opposite, Glammy.
You're like, I'm thinking like safe word and shit. Like,
No. Although, do you know that with me and Tina, our relationship has gotten to the point I need a fucking safe word with her? Because if I do drunk streams, she will call and tattle about me to Keem or whoever.
I think
So for
that's
our
just so
last-
that you can keep your safe. Because girl, you'll be opening up more like a treasure chest when you get drunk.
But okay, well, let me address what Mel said. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
no,
just
you're
reading the
fine.
chat.
It's good. Thank you so much,
No,
Mel.
no. I think a lot of men would be intimidated by Becky. Well, so that's why I like when I meet men and I'm actually interested in them, I don't act quite like this. I'm more quiet. I listen to them. Here's me on a date. Like I do my
Yes,
best to let the
okay.
man talk. He'll tell me about whatever. Like let's say he's into tech.
Okay.
Like how about this? Let's role play a little bit. You could be CD-Rom, Glammy, and
Okay.
pretend we're on a date. How would it go?
Okay, so
Like,
he's so.
We're talking on a date. What do you do for work?
I'm a tech guy with the chips and the motherboards.
Oh, really? That's fascinating. I love tech too. What do you do?
I coat them with special coater stuff. And I shove them in places and it clicks.
Okay, so if that was a real date, I might have had to end the date right there. I can't even go with the fucking roll.
I don't know what the fucking does.
I stick things in holes. That's like,
That's all I could think about was the little chips and the microchips is sticking into stuff. And they snap in like those little, like, connectors. That's all I could think of was like wires and shit. I don't know. You can ask him what he does for fun. Don't ask him about his job. I don't know that part.
you know how like in cartoons they'll sometimes do like the thought bubble to show what a character is doing? I really wonder what your thought bubble is inside your brain. Like what's going on in there?
It's like 4 different pictures of different things and they don't connect.
Oh my god.
So it's like it's different scenes in OBS, but none of them make sense and they don't go together. But somehow, if you think about it, they sort of connect in some very small variant.
Okay, I'm going to go off topic a little bit here.
Okay.
But that actually reminds me, since this is tech talk, it's actually
Yes.
appropriate for tech. The way you're talking about like connectors and stuff, this was when I was in high school. And I was, or high school or college, I forget. But I was so stressed over this project I was working on and I was hardly sleeping. I think I was getting, it was high school. I think I was only getting like an hour of sleep that night before I was going to have to go to school the next day. I had a nightmare that I was tangled in Excel spreadsheets. So not
All of that sounded dirty.
I know. I woke up and I was tangled in my bed sheets, but in my mind, I was tangled up in Excel spreadsheets, and I was like, I can't wake up till I figure out this problem. it was my sleep was so stressful. I lived such a stressful life.
Oh my god! So you sit there and wake up and like feel hot and sweaty because of graphs.
I mean, actually, if you think about it, imagine how you would plot out an orgasm. It would look like a graph, like up, 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 ooh, down.
Damn.
Anyway.
What the fuck? Yours is wrong. You do that wrong. You need a better dude. That's not how that goes.
Okay, maybe it could be a bimodal curve, like, maybe. No, what does your graph look like then, Glammy?
Like many, but like they go, it's like poof, 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 and then it just keeps going until we stop.
Maybe there's a reason you decided not to leave for 10 years and you stuck around.
Because my dude's amazing. Like, where do you get the like? That doesn't happen. Mine's continuous until we stop. Like, but it's not like a long stretch. It's like that, and then that, and then that, and then that, and then when we decide to stop, then it stops.
It's just like going to sleep. That was like just the end. But
But it sounded like you stop before it stops.
well,
Like, is it a togetherly situation of stopping? Is it a collective stopping, or is it?
actually, you're kind of right. Maybe I am telling on myself a little.
Yeah, I think
Because
your shit's wrong.
no matter when it stops, I'm usually not fully satisfied.
Oh God, girl, you overeat in the bedroom too? Jesus.
I do not overeat in the bedroom, you motherfucker. Glammy, Jesus Christ. Have you ever seen that? Did you ever watch Seinfeld? Did you ever watch Seinfeld back in the day?
Oh, I know of it. Yes.
For anyone who watched Seinfeld, there's the episode where he tries to make himself like have the ultimate happiness, and he's having sex and listening to sports and eating a pastrami sandwich all at the
my
same
God,
time.
that's-
He's like trying to. Anyway, that
That's a
reminded me
lot
of
of
that.
multitasking.
I do not overeat in the bedroom, okay?
You
Glammy.
said you would never say.
I have a healthy sexual. Maybe it is a little unhealthy.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe I do have binge eating disorder when it comes to the bedroom. When it comes to the bedroom, it's never enough.
Maybe you just don't have a filling enough meal. You're just snacking.
I need more filling. Glammy. Glammy. That's what the condoms are for, so that doesn't happen.
No. I just mean you need a more substantial, healthier, heartier meal than versus a little snacking so that you're not hungry every 5 minutes.
True. My ideal, I'm sorry, if it's TMI, I'm going to try to keep it 2 p.m. somewhat appropriate.
Okay.
My ideal would be more like what Glammy has, like bam, bam, pow, wow. Like,
Yeah,
yes. And then both finish at the same time, and then it's like, oh, everyone's satisfied. But usually, like, it never lines up perfectly. And then, okay, I don't want to go into TMI. But
See,
if
that's what I'm thinking. Like, I just think that you're eating from the wrong bowl of food. Like, I feel like you're picking not
5 bowls of food. But then if I'm finished eating and they keep trying to eat, it makes me hungry again. And then they'll be done eating and I'm not finished. And then it all ends up with them falling asleep and me trying to trying to get off in the car alone. Wait till they're sleeping and then I can finish the job.
You have to do what? See, I told you you're doing it wrong. That's not how that works.
9 times out of 10, that's how it works for me. Or I'll get tired. Like if they're just not getting there, I'll just be like, whatever, let them finish. They go to sleep. And then I wait till I hear snoring and then the real party begins.
You have to have a pajama party with yourself before you finish. At that point, just send them home.
And then you have to, I'm assuming I'm in a relationship with this person, right? And then
Not a
if
very
God
good
forbid,
one.
and then if God forbid they wake up in the middle of that, then like if I finish and then they want to go again, the whole cycle starts all fucking over. This is
Okay, wait. I'm thinking self-control and patience.
yeah, I don't have either of those when it comes to sex.
Clearly. This is why you overeat. That's what I'm telling you.
It's just, how fucked up. My sex life has to be that Glammy is now my therapist. Fucking Glammy has a more normal, better sex life than what the fuck? I'm like an upside down world. Somehow Glammy is on a fucking tech show. You know who wanted to be on a tech show from when it was first coming to the network? Moi.
You did?
I did. Well, because I know tech is where the money is. You could get really good sponsorships in that. But somehow you ended up on Tech Talk. You ended up with a man who gives you 5,000 orgasms. I ended up with my hand in the dark. I don't fucking get it.
I'm humble. You're out here calling for peoples. Climbing to the top with your chips. I'm sorry, that didn't even make any sense.
You, me, and CD-Rom. We should do this as a segment one time. Oh my
I think
God,
so.
your mom. I got distracted because my camera's here and the chat is right here. And I see in the chat, Becky has to be a squirter. Talking about in the chat, you sick motherfucks. What the fuck? Listen.
I think Becky
listen.
would feel satisfied if she was a squirter. I feel like that's the problem.
Put it back in your pants and zip them up. This is not that kind of show. Actually, though, it is kind of relevant.
It's
relevant.
dating. It's dating. It's more of the talk part versus the tech part. Like, fuck the tech part today. Although our bodies are kind of like machines in a way, you know, so it kind of goes. But that's what I like about this show is that he's very techy and I'm very talky. So it's just kind of like goes.
And we're the talk.
Yeah.
I know it.
And then I try to incorporate like girls stuff with his tech stuff. So like I think it makes a really cool balance of things. He's pretty patient with me too, because I'll be super electric. Plus, it's 4:00 in the morning, which I absolutely love the time slot. I'm not gonna lie, because it's super fun, and you can kind of be crazy and whatever. And then I have so much monsters in me by that point that like everything is funny. So like he'll just say things, and then my brain will try to connect what he tries to say as far as tech goes, and it looks, you know. It looks very wonky.
That was a great explanation, Glammy.
That's what I
Meanwhile, in the chat, they're roasting the fuck out of me. They're like, Becky squirts, confirmed. Becky squirts like a waterfall.
She's got that Squirtle energy.
Squirtle?
Yeah, Squirtle.
Isn't that like a Pokemon?
Yeah, well, you did say earlier you were trying to catch them all. So it goes.
These, though, squirrels.
Wait.
Okay, squirts. Just trying to catch them all.
What?
I'm sorry. Do we want to have a conversation about squirting? I think it's probably too
Sure.
early in the day for that. Oh, well, Glammy's down. Well, shit.
I don't care. I like talking about anything, to be honest with you. Oh, no. You stopped. What happened? Your Discord is going wonky. Becky? Oh, no. We lost her. No! She was fun to talk to. Shit! Okay. Are you back?
God is trying to stop me from talking about squirting. Apparently.
You were almost just getting into shit.
I was literally just about to say, like, do we want to go into G spots or not? And then boom,
We can go. Yeah, we can go into that as long as like we can try to keep it like TOS appropriate. I think it's cool. I'm down to talk about anything. I like talking about shit.
That's actually part of the so oh god, I need a sex talk show. They really need to put me on a sex talk
This
show.
tech talk, sex talk, same thing. Go.
All right, so like there's different kind of orgasms, right? And the kind that you get with squirting is a G-spot orgasm usually.
Okay.
And A squirt is basically when that area builds up fluid and then it releases it all. That's what a squirt is. Well,
Okay.
it takes time to build up to that area having all that liquid in it. Oh God, this is so. Why
That
am I
sounds
talking about this?
frustrating.
Well, that's exactly the problem. So if you do squirt, it's like you're always being built up towards it, and then even like once you
Yeah.
do squirt, you don't feel fully relieved. It's like because you still
Okay, I can see
you're
that.
feeling
I can see that.
bored.
Yeah,
Oh,
I can
God.
see that. I can totally see that. No, I can totally see that because that makes sense. That makes sense. That all that buildup would be so frustrating, and then would that fully end up being satisfying after? Because it would just be that, you know.
And it starts building up again. The chat is going,
But how long would it take? But how long would it take to between each fill?
it gets to okay. So all right,
You
I'll
know
go
what I
into a
mean?
story. I've sort of gone into this story before, so it'll only be half embarrassing. I was on Rewind and I talked about how I almost made a guy drown. Like,
Oh God! What?
he was doing his thing. We were like 69ing, whatever. He
Okay.
was doing his thing, and all of a sudden I hear like his I'm like, what? And he's like, I almost drowned.
I'm
But
trying
so
to
what
give him the water hose while he's down there.
Gotta hose him down. So it has been in my experience. At that time, it was his first time being with a girl who could squirt.
Okay.
So this was like a thing, and he was, oh God, I can't believe I'm talking about this. Keem's not kicking me off, so I assume it's okay.
Dude, we're fine.
He was trying to see like how much he could get me to, like over and over and over and over
Yeah,
again,
like
right?
a competitive man. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, essentially. And after like an hour and a half of that shit, it turns out there's no limit. And I just had like cramps for days from all the orgasming. But it also turned out I was like horny for days because whatever your G spot, it's sort of like, oh, all right. Oh my God. I can't believe. All right. If a guy reaches in there, you could feel it's like
Okay.
sort of a rougher spot, like a rough sponge. That's like
Sure.
where the spot is, and it gets engorged with fluid. Well, even when like you squirt, some of it still stays a bit engorged, so it's like you still stay a little turned
See,
on.
I don't want that. That sounds incredibly frustrating.
It is.
Okay,
The
but
guy
like, yeah, the guy sits there most of the time. They're like, "Oh, we want that, we want that." But for the girl, that sounds annoying.
Tina to come get me. They're like, Tina, come get Becky, please. They're like,
Why? Whatever. What is wrong with having a little like tech talk that has to do with the female techie bits? You know,
it's biotech talk.
biotech talk, exactly.
Okay.
Biodegrade our talking.
Dude, do you realize we've been talking for an hour and a half? Why don't
No.
we've been talking this whole time? Like, I think Lammy actually had a show prepared.
I
I
did.
think I just took her totally.
This is better. I like it.
I just took her totally off track.
That's all works for me because I actually really like it. It's good.
How many monsters do you drink in a day?
About 6 or 7.
How
like-
are you alive?
I don't know. I've been doing it for a really, really super long time. Like since I was 20, I drank a lot of monsters. I just like them.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but I seem to be
Oh my
like
God.
mentally unstable, but physically I'm fine. It's like it works out.
I think we might have, if this is going to be your new time, are you guys like going to be at 2 for a while now, or is this just for today?
I think it was just for today because Keem was trying to try out a whole bunch of shows on this time
okay.
slot since Madhouse is not there.
Because I think I might have to do a little thing with CD-ROM one of these days. We should have like a little e-date on here.
I
and
was
flirt
thinking
with
that
each other,
too. We did.
only using text speak. So kind of like,
Oh shit!
you know,
So does that get you going?
yeah, and be
Text
like, you really know how to turn me on. You know how to push all the right buttons. Like it has to be like computer innuendos, you know?
Cross my wires.
Oh God, yeah, that would be you. That would be you.
You give me an extra battery pack.
Those come in handy. Oh my God. So I think you had like a smash or pass or something planned, right?
I do, as of how to bring it up to the forefront.
I mean, I could try a smash or pass. I know it wasn't made for me, but I could give my opinions.
I would like to give that to you. Hang on one second. If I can figure out how to do this.
You hear that? Glammy wants to give it to me. This is exactly how I would train a man in the bedroom. Just trying to figure out how to do it. You just have to be patient and wait.
Because I gotta pull it up.
You gotta get it up, and she's having a hard time. And then she's all flustered, and that's it.
Okay, let's see if this works, because I actually made this myself, okay?
Oh, exciting.
I thought so. I don't...
Glammy's still trying to get it up, guys. Don't worry. We'll get there eventually.
Okay, so it
It's got
depends...
easy electronic dysfunction.
I need the red pill. All right, now if I... Okay, theoretically... Oh, I can share this with... Oh, actually, we could do it this way. It would be
Sure.
super duper, like, easier, I think.
Yes, I'm watching.
Okay. So here is the slideshow, as it were. So this is the Smash or Pass, the Tinder. So we had this whole thing going about, like, if we have 200 membership goals, which I think we're at like 15 at this point, we're gonna send Cd-Rom on a date. Well, not send him on a date, but we're gonna make him have a Tinder profile, but the chat is gonna pick what goes in it, how we're gonna set it up. So for 200 donation membership goals, that's what this is. So I was trying to figure out, like, maybe like what's his type, how is, like, you know what I mean? So
we're trying to guess what it would be, unless you want to say. I don't want to like interrupt if you want to save this for him, but
so what this is a bunch of thank you, final for the 5 CD-ROM to Becky. Be like, want to see my floppy disk? I love it.
Terrible.
I love it. Thank you, Final. Yeah, so this Smash or Pass is basically set up like a Tinder.
Final, I'm sorry, Final, I would far rather see your hard drive.
Oh, this is kind of like, so let me preface this at first. I went on Google and I searched Tinder profiles. So this is all Google. I didn't go into the app and pull this off the app. This is straight off. You could Google. This is public information. So this is just trying to figure out, like, what's his type.
Ooh.
So this one right here, she says, I'm the kind of girl you can take home to your family. I will then get closer to them than you are and will slowly phase you out.
I bet he would like her physically and somewhat be titillated by the challenge. Like, he'd feel red flags and he'd be like, nah. I don't want to try anyway.
I don't think so. I think he'd be so scared he would hide under his bed like you do with the cops.
Oh, I didn't tell you another time. Oh, I have a story. I don't know if I should go into it.
Well, go ahead.
My recliner that I used to sit in a lot, I could see like out kind of through the window to my front door if somebody would knock there, and if they knew to look in, they could see me. So one time somebody knocked at my door and I wasn't expecting it, and I was in my recliner. I just pulled my blanket right over my head and I literally hid like that till they left.
Did they actually go?
Yeah, they eventually left, because if they looked inside, all they were going to see was a bumpy looking blanket and be like, what the fuck is that? They weren't going to know I was there.
Oh my God. So you just eventually just ended up melding into one big lump.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I don't think that he would be interested in someone like this, but I thought it was super funny. So also +2, this is kind of going to show you like some of the type of things that people would say on their Tinder, which I think is funny. So this one right here says,
no.
I'm Ty, so if you send me a dick pic, I might send you one back.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I thought it was funny.
No, it's really funny. I almost feel bad we're ruining these. I don't know if we should ruin the surprise for
I don't
for
think
him.
he's watching.
Okay.
He's
No, I think
working.
that's hilarious. Have you guys ever seen like the Thai lady boys? They look really good.
A lot of times they look better than women.
They
Like,
do. They look
like
really,
I don't know
really
how to
good.
say that. Cis women. A lot of them look better than cis
Yeah.
women do.
They do.
They're
They look great.
gorgeous. They're absolutely gorgeous. Back in the day when I was doing my clubbing and stuff, like way back when I was in my 20s, there was this one, I forget their name, but they were so drop dead gorgeous. Oh my God. They had like the longest hair and they just had like the most beautiful nails and they were tall and it was just so super slanky. They had like the beautifulest outfits. Like they were gorgeous. I was very jealous. They were
You'd never
very
be able to
beautiful.
tell just from looking at them.
Says this one, standing tall at 5'2". I want to do adult things with you. Whisper taxes, painting softly, pay the mortgage, moans, make sure we turn off all the lights. Our utility bill was fucking $300 this month. This sounds
would
like a
be-
girl for him.
I was gonna say he would be interested. The humor.
I don't know if it's
See, I
like
don't-
humor.
I don't know him very well, so I'm just having to go off first. I'm honestly going by what he looks like, kind of. That's my first impression with him.
To be
And the
honest with
rest
you,
is
I am
nothing.
too, because I don't know him very well either. I'm just now
Yeah.
starting to get to know him. But based off the fact that he's very, yes, Aurora, Jeffree Star, that is a beautiful, beautiful man. Based off of like knowing him and how like intimidated he is, he seems to be somebody who would be like talking taxes would be like foreplay. You know what I mean?
Because he's a tech guy. He probably has that weird techie sense of humor. And so this humor seems like slightly off the wall. He would probably like it. That would be my guess.
But like, what's the deal with the picture? I feel like she doesn't look like that if you meet her.
No, true. Yeah, that would be a definite catfish picture.
That's what I'm thinking. Because I totally
Yeah.
feel like this is an OF model.
True. Actually, if I were a guy, I would think that this is probably another dude, like with a fake profile.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking that. I'm thinking this is going to be a very large woman with a mustache.
No, I'm definitely thinking dude, and I'm thinking of that because of the profile, the personality in the profile. A lot of women's dating profiles really have like no personality to them, I've noticed.
You know what, too? While I was Googling these, I've actually noticed that a lot of the descriptions, there was a lot of them that were the same. They ended up saying, like, one of them was like, I want to be like your Nintendo cartridge where you blow on me before you plug me in. But there were
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 that were like that. And I actually just got some information a few minutes ago before we went live that a greater part of Tinder people are actually married. The statistics are really high that the people are married already.
That makes so much sense.
Does it though? Because it doesn't make sense to me. I'm sitting here thinking, oh my God, what the fuck?
It makes sense to me because it explains a lot of the behavior I've seen on there.
Do you run into a lot of married men?
Well, they won't tell you that, but it'll explain a lot. Like they'll match whatever it is that you say you're looking for. And then for some reason, things will just fall apart and you never know why. And then it usually turns out they're married.
How long have you been on Tinder?
I mean, on and off, I've been on it. I think I first started really using it in like 2016, maybe. I hopped on
Because the
it.
way you said that was experiential.
Well, I'm full of dating experience. So I first joined an online dating site. It was Plenty of Fish all the way back in 2003.
I heard that one's trashy. Is that one trashy?
It is now. It's really weird and different now. And then I started using Tinder mostly once OkCupid changed how they used to be run very differently, and
So
they sort of changed it to be more like Tinder, and then I kind of just started using Tinder instead.
I feel like eHarmony was the first breakout into e-dating, right?
I remember trying to sign up for eHarmony way back in the day, and I did their long thing that took forever. I think it took me it was like 30 minutes or 2 hours or something, answering all the questions they asked.
Yeah.
Back how it used to be, and then by the time I finished answering them, they said I wasn't a fit.
No! You got
rejected.
this by eHarmony? Oh my God, you pay for that service.
Glammy.
How do you get turned down from a service you pay for?
They probably knew I would be the worst thing to ever happen to all those good Christian boys on there.
Okay,
so-
I think that trumps your thing that you said about me. How do I manage to get kicked out of a cult? How do you manage to get kicked out of the shit you pay for? I win.
I said that to you. That's funny. Or did I say that to you, or did someone else say that you managed to
No.
get kicked out?
I saw it on Queens. I watched you say it.
Oh, I said that? I'm
Yeah.
funny sometimes. That was a good one.
Yeah, you're full of shit. I'm still here, bitch. But you got kicked out of eHarmony, a service you pay for. Now that's skill. That is skill.
I also sometime around that time, I had applied for a job at CVS. This was back like during my first year in college. I applied for a job at CVS and they also denied me. They said I was not a fit. You had to do the really long personality quiz they give you, and they were like, nope. I got outright rejected.
Okay, guess who used to work for CVS in the photo lab department?
You did? I
I
wanted to
did.
work in the photo lab, you lucky
I
bitch.
worked in the photo lab department, which was so super funny that I actually got picked and you didn't.
Oh my God.
How did you fail that?
Is my life actually this bad, guys? Is this where I have the moment of self-awareness where I realize I really am a lol cow?
Or at least not as good as me. So you were intimidated for the right reasons.
So I failed at both of those. So embarrassing.
Yeah,
So
I worked there. I thought it was so cool. They had like the big machines and stuff, and you'd have to undo the camera, take the camera out, take the rollout. You'd put it in this thing, and then you put it in the machine, and you do the buttons, and then it goes through the machine, and then eventually it swapped the machines over from like less. It was different. It was more electronical. But then they had like the chemicals. You had to take it out of a bucket and walk it down and dump it in which didn't seem right. So we had to walk the chemicals, the used chemicals. It would be filled up in the bucket after it was done. And then would be collective all together. And you'd have to take the bucket down the stairs and you'd have to dump it over the sewer. They told you, yeah.
I don't know what they were dumping, but that doesn't sound like
It
the
was
correct
the
way to take the dump.
photochemicals. Yeah, no, it wasn't the right way to do it at all, but that's what we did. I was like 20, I believe. But I worked right next to a sushi place, and that was really good because I used to fill up on sushi on my break.
Can I tell you guys a gross one?
Yes.
Of things that shouldn't happen at jobs? So my first job ever was when I was 16 at Dairy Queen. And one of the gross things there, the owner was like super fucking cheap. One of the gross things there was she wouldn't let people she wouldn't let people flush the toilet each time.
Why? Was it because she paid for the water?
Or something, yes.
Oh
And this
my
was
God.
the bathroom in the Dairy Queen. And it was like you were only supposed to flush if you took a shit. And it's like, what? You think I'm gonna pee on top of somebody else's pee and risk that flashback? You're fucking kidding me, lady. It was a woman too. She should have known better.
Oh my God, imagine if that's what the real chocolate soft serve was.
No, stop it. That is disgusting. Maybe it was the lemonade. No, stop it, Glenny. Stop it.
Thank you so much, Callie, for the $9.99. Love you too. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, imagine that in a food place, right? Like,
That
how
is
gross is that?
That's very
It was
gross.
really
It's
gross.
very unappetizing, but super funny to think about.
The splashback, it's true. So what I did is every time I went in there, I just flushed first and then left my pee behind for the next poor person.
Oh my God, couldn't you have just... You should have found him. I feel like your system was wrong. Couldn't you? How would you have done? I feel like that's wrong.
I feel like this could have been handled a better way.
I do.
I know.
I feel like there was a way to get both of them in there and then flush it together so the next person would have it clean, but I'm not sure.
No, because I was not going to risk the splashback. That was listen.
That was the whole point of it.
I have a princess pussy. It wasn't happening. So that way they would,
Princess pussy.
that I was not going to. That's fucking disgusting, man.
That is gross.
Oh, speaking of splashback,
Yeah.
I first heard this years ago, but I'll pass along the tip for anyone who doesn't know this. I've heard that if you have to take a poop and you don't want the splashback, all you have to do is put like a piece of toilet paper on top of the water first, and it disrupts the surface tension so that you won't get the splashback.
I've heard that you do like the toilet paper over the seat before you sit.
Yeah, well, that's
But if you gotta go real, because that was what my mom used to say to me all the time. She'd be like, okay, make sure you put toilet paper over the seat before you sit. I'm like, girl, if I gotta go wicked bad, because I hate public restrooms as a total, like I hate it. I'd rather hold it than go in a public restroom. Like I can't stand it. But if you're in if you're in a tricky trickle situation, you've got to go when you gotta go. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna be able to. I'd rather hover than put that toilet paper over.
Oh, I don't do that. Like, I got too much ass to hold up. That's like a whole ass workout if I were to try to do that. But your mom told you to protect the seat, which is great. She got your ass cheeks covered. But meanwhile, your little asshole is sitting there quivering in fear that it's going to be under attack at any moment. You left the most important part unprotected, Glammy.
Oh my God, you got the shit ship. You got to protect the shit. Under attack with the poop cannonballs.
Oh God,
CD-Rom. Hey, CD.
Ladies, what on earth is going on in here?
When the cat is away, the mice will play. How are you, CD?
Yeah, very clearly. Oh, just perfect. Thanks for asking.
So maybe you should put on, like, now that you got your camera, CD, talk to Becky. Mock date.
About? What? Wait a minute, you can't just spring that on me. What?
Too bad, I just did.
Well, we could plan it for another time, but we're talking about having a date, an e-date that's all technical innuendo. Like somebody in the chat used the example of you wanting to show me your floppy disk.
Oh gosh, Becky, I don't think that would impress me very long.
He's all like, oh gosh, Becky. Did you hear the way he said that? Oh gosh, Becky.
I
You like her.
I don't think you would be that interested in putting up with that for very long.
For about 5 minutes, maybe. I think it would be fun.
You don't want to cross wires?
You don't want to
5 minutes. Story of my life.
He doesn't want to turn it on.
I don't think. Maybe he's nervous that he doesn't know if he can find the button.
All right, Glammy. You know, today in school, I learned you have absolutely no faith. This is the person I run a show with.
Faith in you. It's not about faith. It's about fun. About fun, not faith.
What is that supposed to mean? You think I'm not fun?
No, I don't know what you mean. Like, it's not that I don't have faith in you. I just like having fun. I'm fun motivated.
It sounds like a lot of shade coming my way is what it sounds like.
No, it sounds like a lot of fun. Don't be afraid of fun, CD. Embrace the fun. Embrace the fun. I'm going to take this show and you to, like, the rabbit hole of fun.
Yeah, great. Okay, well, maybe... I'll tell you what, Glammy. I will 100% believe in you on that the day the pigs fly. How about that?
That's okay. You don't have to believe me.
Listen, if you want me to fly, at least buy me a drink first, motherfucker.
All right, Becky. I wasn't gonna make that joke about you, but if you're gonna say it so openly,
I'm used to it. All right, back to the sex tech talk.
Ooh,
I've said before on my show, people used to donate a lot to say pig, like to put the pig emoji.
Oh yeah.
And then the speech would go pig, pig, pig. And it got to the point where now when I hear that, it fucking turns me on because I know there's money coming.
Oh shit!
I've been Pavlovian conditioned. Yes,
she got the piggy train.
And so now no piggy emojis anymore because they don't let me enjoy anything in life.
They don't let me enjoy it either, Becky.
So
listen, man. I
I feel like on some level I need to understand how that works. Is that a Pavlovian response, or does somebody say the word pig and you in your head you actually hear a cash register going off? Like, what's the how does that work?
No, in my head, this is so embarrassing. In my head, I hear pig, 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 and then I feel a little like, ooh, like, because I know money must have just come in.
So for you, it's like a piggy bank.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. You got it. Money turns me on, so it literally turns me on.
Yeah,
So
CD, you've got a
there's no
pretty
way.
crispy job, right? You'd be able to like lift Becky's
Well,
spirits.
I'll tell you what, as if I don't go through enough shit for my job, right? That I even managed to find a way to enjoy being called a pig, and they even had to take that away from me. I'm not allowed to enjoy anything around here.
Yeah, well, we can figure out how you can enjoy CD.
I have an empty driveway.
Want me to respond to that? I know I'm not doing myself any favors by not having any self-confidence, but I really don't think that Becky would be that interested in me for very long.
Why not?
I don't think I'm her fate.
You got a swanky
Why
job,
not?
right?
I have a decent job. It does more than pay my bills.
There you go. You're already in.
Could it pay my bills too?
I don't know. Probably. I don't know what your bills are.
Well, if that's the case, then I mean you're already more than halfway there.
Can you pay my bills? Can't pay my telephone bills. Can't pay my automobiles. Wait, we can chill. I don't think you do. So you and me are through.
Nerdy guys, I like nerdy humor.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
she wanted to get down and dirty with your desktop.
On his desktop.
She wants to do the air blower on your keys.
I'm looking for a file I put on my desktop. Can you help me find it? I can't find this file. Where did it go?
Glammy, do you remember that thing I told you about overanalyzing responses?
Overanalyzing responses, dude. We're lucky, I think, before I speak.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about me. I don't know what the correct answer is in this scenario.
Oh,
Do I say nothing? Do I say nothing and just let her keep talking, or do I tell her to bend over? Like, what am I supposed to do here? What's the right answer?
Do that one. Do that one.
You're the worst dating coach ever.
Do the bend over one. No, do you remember go ahead.
No, I was going to say, do you remember there was one time I was flirting with Rastov and I forget what he said. He said something about giving me a suppository or something. I'm like, what? How did your brain go there?
He was thinking of deep pockets.
Unbelievable. So this is what happens to my show one day when it gets moved around on.
I improved it.
Well, you know.
Yes, I love talking to you. I think this was so much fun. Oh my god.
You know, I guess on one side of the coin, I should be particularly thankful that it didn't turn into battery operated tech talk today.
Battery operated? Wait, well, it sort of did.
Getting a little close there, though.
It sort of did. We had.
You could save that for the toy review section, led by me. We could do that once a week, and you could have sponsors. Now sponsored by Adam and Eve.
I will defer 100%. I will defer 100% to Glammy on that one.
What? I wasn't listening.
Glammy was too busy thinking about spreading my cheeks for bread. Sorry.
That's the real bread for spread for bread.
God damn it, Glammy.
Oh my god.
Listen, I have good advice when it comes to vibrators. Okay, do you want to hear? Okay, awkward story time.
Oh yes, awkward story time. Let's go.
I once had this vibrator. It would just like come on for no reason. I don't know why. It would just like kick on.
I don't know why you come on it for no reason.
No. And I was at home with my mom. This is when I still lived at home. We were talking. We're in my bedroom talking, and then all of a sudden you start hearing this little bzzz. And my eyes, because I cannot lie, my eyes go directly to looking right under the bed where I know where it is.
And then
My eyes give away everything. And look, she made an excuse to leave the room, and I took care of it. But it was so fucking embarrassing.
then you find out that your real pussy took it over. It was Zoe all along.
Well,
Okay, well, ladies, this has been great, but I'm immensely uncomfortable, and I only had 10 minutes to give you. So you're doing great. Have fun. See you tomorrow.
See you later, Sadie. Oh, mine.
Keem was so funny with that yesterday when they did that impression of me and Tina, and
that was fucking funny.
$50, and Keem was like, "Becky never gives money," and then
yes.
he called me and he said it was Zoe.
That's you have a very talented pussy. You do.
He does. I was running the stream, and as soon as I started falling asleep during my sleep stream, I woke up because all of a sudden I saw it get very light in my room, and it's because this little one was tap dancing all over my keyboard, and she made the whole screen white while I was streaming, and I was like, "Oh God, please don't fuck with the stream, Zoe." Matt G says, "Hard to drive with a boner. Isn't it easier?" It could
Okay,
be like your
talk to the peoples because I think Mr. Glammy's gonna try to fix my OBS.
Okay, I'll talk to them.
Yeah, talk to them. Okay,
We'll have tea time with them. Wicked Crafter gave $2. CD can be Becky's remote toy test operator.
That would be the real Toys R Us.
I have been meaning to look this up. Do they have those? They must have those toys that could be controlled. I should probably not talk about this with Glammy's husband, right?
He can't hear you.
Okay. Well, he could see your face, though. He's going to be wondering why you're talking about splashback on your asshole, Glammy. Why? He needs to understand, why do you like toilet water splashing against your ass, Glammy?
Oh, my God. Well, did you fix it? I think you fixed it.
No.
Oh, God.
Oh, sort of.
I'm dying.
You fixed it.
No, not really.
Well, that works.
Oh, now I don't look like a ghost anymore.
Yeah. We sort of fixed it. Wow.
I forgot what
no,
I was
don't
saying
show that
already. That
part.
was funny, though.
Yeah, that's fine for now.
You look
That's
like-
better.
I do.
It works. Okay,
Oh
go
my
ahead.
God. Do not flip it, jump cut drama. Stop looking for trouble. Don't clip my shit. Final gave $5 and said, "CD, come back. Show her how you insert a dongle."
Is that like the dingleberries?
Tell her you want to put a Trojan on her hard drive. Okay.
That would be infiltration
Magnum.
from within.
Oh God. You know, the other day I was actually looking up images to draw, but I was doing it on my PC. So I was like looking up reference photos, and then I somehow ended up on a bad website. I was not looking at porn. I like clicked through for some link for some picture I was trying to look at, right?
Okay.
And then it got some virus installed on my computer, and I was trying to figure out how to get it off, and it was like an hour before the show because I knew it was going to look so bad having that virus there, because it was going to look like I had been watching porn even though I hadn't.
Oh
I
my
eventually
God.
figured it out, but
See, that's how you get those viruses, though.
that's what I was gonna say. Fuck, don't forget it again. God damn it. People do that without forgetting shit.
Don't blame that shit on me. You're the one in the dark trenches with the viruses.
Be a good pickup line. Say my pussy's like the Mariana Trench. Deepest place on this planet you've ever visited. Anyway.
You just be like, we come with motons and alligators.
I was not watching porn. I would never watch porn on my work computer, okay?
You didn't go to page 5?
Exactly. I don't want a page 5 incident. And especially, that's the worst part. That's the worst fucking part about, I think Elon Musk trolled us all when he renamed Twitter to X. Because if you, to this day, I don't go to type in X. Because if you start with the X, it's like, what's going to pop up? X hamster? XXX dot? What? Like,
Girl, do you know how many kids that guy's got? Like, he's definitely clicking them X's. Like, that boy be having kids. He's right up there with freaking Mariah's ex. You know what I mean? Like, they're out for trying to build their own armies.
The way you connect your cables are crossed weird, Glammy. They really are.
It's a triple X. You know, he was thinking of them triple X, like websites, them dirty, filthy websites, and he just put one X.
Triple X websites, and then he wouldn't have so many actual X's that he has kids with. Is that the connection we're going for?
No, I think it's because he just hasn't learned anything from it. Because clearly he does it wrong. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to keep them. He wouldn't have so many X's.
Imagine having that much money and not being able to keep a partner.
See, I think it's just because that boy ain't right.
In the chat wrote, Becky, thanks to you, CD-Rom had a memory leak and overheated his CPU and had to leave the room. Listen, you know he's going to go Google different computer-related flirts. I am too.
He's going to have to, like, pull over. He's going to have to pull over in the car. He had to go because he was ready to, like, lose it. He had to go release his hard drive.
Release his
He had to take out his cookies. He had to empty his trash barrel.
You know how, like, Boogie has his stress cookies?
Yes.
Maybe those are just, like, his tech stress cookies from all the websites he visits when he's stressed.
That's awesome. Oh, my God. I can't believe we have like 3 minutes left before Milkers is coming on.
Oh my God, that's right.
That was so much fun,
really
Becky.
fun.
Thank you
This
so
was like
much.
This was like a girl's brunch. I enjoyed it.
I did too. It was so much fun. I like talking about dating and stuff like that.
Next time we do this, we have to have like wine, our charcuterie boards, cheese and crackers. And just have a whole little girly gossip sesh.
Okay, how many times do you just want to lose your shit every time you hear the word charcuterie board? Who in the fuck named that? They're gonna like look at that thing and be like, cheese and ham, yes, charcuterie.
Well, it's better than a charcuter board. We've had some of those around here.
What's a charcuter board?
I can't go into Cootergate too much. If you know, you know.
No, I know. But how did you get from one to the other?
That's the merch we could sell, a charcuter board. Put that on lolcow.com.
We'd have to have Zoe be the face of it. We'd have to have Zoe be the face of it.
Charcuter board with the person's face.
We have to put Zoe on it. She's the only pussy we could really show.
Zoe would never be caught dead on that charcuterie board. You can barely even see her. She's on the blanket right now. She blends right in.
She does.
Anyway.
So you just take a picture and you put the charcuterie board, like print it and put it like in front of her with her paws on top of it. And then she'd be like looking like she's eating it, you know?
Love it. She loves cheese, ice cream, all those things that cats love.
Milford Girl for 5. Thank you so much, Milford Girl. Great show, ladies. Double dose of Becky today. Hell yeah. Thank you so much, Becky.
Yeah, it's good seeing more of you here than I usually get to see over at Queen. So I guess I'll jump out and let you close out your show.
Yeah, I think that's so weird. We only have like 3 minutes left.
No. Well, thank you for being here with us today, guys. Now I'm acting like the host. I'm not a host. Thank you for being here with me.
Oh, get out, Becky! You took over nothing.
Nobody's here for fucking Glammy, okay? We know it's her show, but you were here for me.
Cam, we can't even see you anymore, bitch.
Oh, motherfucker. All right, fine. Bye, bitch.
Bye. Thank you so much for coming to Local Tech Talk, where we did more talk than tech. Thank you so much, Becky, for being here. That was so much fun, you guys. Oh my God. I can't stop laughing. That girl's a hoot. She's so much fun. I had so much fun. Thank you so much, Bolo1029, for Band World. Welcome to Band World. Oh, you guys, this was so much fun. So next is gonna be Milkers. I put up the the redirect and everything, so you will be absolutely redirected to the Milkers. Make sure you enjoy their show. They are going to have Beans on there, I think, which congratulations, shout out to Beans for making it on Milkers. You guys have been absolutely fun. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I enjoyed this so much. It was a blast. It was an absolute blast. And I will talk to you guys later at the Locale Tech Talk. Watch Milkers. Make sure you're there. And shout out to Beans and shout out to Roxy. And we will see you next time. And it is still 1 minute left. Everything's funny to me. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. And we're going to do Glamazons forever. I love being a Glamazon. Shout out to Aurora, too. Mr. Glammy, thank you for coming in and helping me out with my scenario here, because that was an issue, too. Oh, now it is 4 o'clock. Okay, love you guys. Shout out Milkers. Go watch Milkers. Love you guys. See you on the next one.